Hey, this is Marco Gutierrez,
This is Daniel with
the
the West
West
Texas
Texas
Exiles,
Exile,
and you're listening to Texas
Texas
Toast
Toast
Podcast.
Podcast.
So let's go.
Cheers, everyone. Welcome to the Texas Toast Podcast with Miss Helen. And I'm so excited to welcome today Marco Gutierrez and Daniel Davis from the West Texas Exiles. Hey, guys. Good to see
Hey,
your faces.
yeah, you too. Thank you for having us.
Well,
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks.
yeah. And by the way, I like your t-shirt. What a great guy. Okay. So
I know, right?
I know, right? All right. It's a Jet Ray Reddick t-shirt, just in case if some people can't see it. So good stuff coming off of your first EP, Volume 1. It's a 6-song EP, and we're going to get to some of that music. But let's talk about, first of all, y'all are based in Austin, but the West Texas Exiles, how did they form, the name and the meaning behind the name of the band?
Well, I initially had a song called Exile, and it's on the EP.
Mm-hmm.
And the chorus is You Can Call Me West Texas Exile. And yeah, I think Daniel, Trinidad, and I were kind of jamming. At first, we really didn't have a name, and West Texas Exiles kind of got thrown out there. And I think we were initially I was initially a little hesitant about it. And then it just stuck. Yeah, it just stuck. We call ourselves the West Texas Exiles because we are all from West Texas.
Right. What parts of
Yeah.
West Texas were y'all kind of all close together? Have you known each other for a long time?
Well, I don't know if you know anything about Texas, but it's a pretty big state.
Oh, I know it. Yes. Yeah.
And West Texas is,
Mhm.
some people argue what is West Texas. We include the Panhandle in that, West Texas. So I'm from Amarillo. Uh, Three of the other members are from Lubbock. That'd be Colin Gilmore, Trinidad Leal, and Eric Harrison. And then Marco's, the truest West
I'm
Texan
I
out
was
in El
born and
Paso.
raised about as far west as Texas goes, out in El Paso.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we all kind of bonded over that. I think being West Texans, it's just we all kind of get it. So in addition to being like super cool buddies with each other, we just kind of had that in common, and everything kind of fell into place after.
And the song Exile had some significance to that, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's a song about kind of being a degenerate out there on the road and struggling a little and then having to go back home to kind of regroup um, and get yourself fixed up. But you always get back out on the road.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, since we're talking about, I'll just go ahead and jump into the songs on the EP because I know Charlie was one that we featured here on the
Nice.
podcast, and it's hard for me to say the title of it because I just want to sing it. It's such a catchy
Right.
song. So tell us.
You're allowed to if you want.
No, you do not want to go there. I'll leave that to y'all. I can talk,
Okay.
but singing, everybody tells me no. Okay, so tell me about Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, funny enough, that's what I would consider the first song I ever really wrote that was worth anything. And I wrote it about 11, 12 years ago. And it was about my dog at the time. And he's since passed away. And it was a really cool tribute to, after not doing anything with that song for so long, to like finally come together with the Exiles and do it right, And so it's just about seeing life through the eyes of a dog, which dogs are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, there's really not much more to it than that. It's about my shortcomings and how I could navigate the world if I had 4 legs and a tail. Would be pretty rad.
And then another one that caught my attention is Hotel Tomorrow, also on the EP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one that that's the first song we all kind of wrote together. Daniel had just that great verse melody and the chorus melody, and it was what was it originally? Not Hotel Tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the original words for the chorus were thoughts of tomorrow, yesterday sorrow. And the engineer in the studio, I think it was even like the very next day we recorded that first scratch track. He thought I was saying hotel tomorrow, and we all stepped back and just thought about it, and just thought about what a cool image that is. And it kind of rerouted the song. It still had the same feeling and same meaning, but then it now is it's more tangible. And it was just and we're giving him songwriter credit on that, because that kind of made the song come together.
Yeah, it's
Funny enough.
well written. It's I think it's so cool talking about the street lights. All of us understand that grew up during that time. And the baseball card and my bike. I just like, I don't know. There's something about that song. It's just
Yeah.
kind of takes you back. Yeah, it's awesome.
It was fun, yeah. When I was messing with that verse, I think Daniel initially had his first verse pretty locked in, and I almost like ad-libbed the way, like it's very close to the way I accidentally sang it the first time ever playing it. So a lot of happy accidents with that song.
Mhm. So you've got the band together. How long did it take y'all to go into the studio? And I understand, I think who is it? Eric, one of your band members, has the studio. Y'all record there. How long did it take you to put this EP together?
Some of the songs during COVID, I was writing a lot of music. I have so much more to offer. So for the first time, I wanted to record a solo album, and we got in the studio, and it was Eric playing bass, Trinidad was on drums, and Daniel was playing keys. So a Monday night, and Sweet LA were songs that were initially going to be a solo album, and then we were all jamming on the same album. Like, let's make a band. So we got in the studio before we were even a band, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing, but we just wanted to keep doing more of that until we
Well,
figured it out.
Well, glad you did. And we want more and more and more of that. Speaking of that, you've got a big live recording coming up with a new single called Bad Luck, and you're going to do that at Anton's. And so that's exciting. I got
Yeah.
a little bit of a listen to it last night. It's
Oh, really? Oh, did
very
Eric send it
intense.
over?
Yeah, top secret. I won't say anything. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
y'all, I can only imagine what y'all are going to do with your harmonies and record, because y'all's harmonies are just amazing. And I can only imagine what that recording is going to be like. So what was the decision on pulling the trigger on that to do a live recording?
Um, I'm. When did that happen, Daniel? I don't know when we decided to record anything.
I don't know. I just work here, man. That's what I
I was
always
gonna
say.
say, man, that's news
No,
to me.
well, that's the cool thing. So Eric Harrison's our bass player and engineer, and he handles all that stuff and kind of makes it happen. And so shout out to Eric, because I'm pretty sure he knows why we're doing it. Obviously, we would like to release it in some form or fashion. Always cool having some live shows recorded and
Yeah.
all that good
Yes,
stuff.
those are always so cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of getting out and being live, y'all had a West Coast tour.
Yeah, we did. It was our first time out of state as a band, and it was amazing.
Yeah, lots of driving, which to most people might sound awful, but it was actually pretty awesome. Like seeing parts of the country I'd never seen before. I mean, we were just like little kids looking out the window most of the time.
Yeah.
Except for the driver, Trinidad got us through the most beautiful part of the country while we're all just scrambling, looking everywhere. But man, we just got to play some really great shows and just see a lot of states, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah.
We came back alive.
Yeah, we
Right.
did.
Right. And so some big Texas show dates coming up for y'all.
Antones, right? That's the
Yeah,
next
we
big
got
one.
Antone's on June 29th. Man, here I have our website pulled up.
That's okay. But I know that in the past, I mean, y'all played South by Southwest. You played the Josh Abbott, but y'all played a lot of key stages.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting how quickly things are moving, considering how young of a band we are. Yeah,
Mhm.
South by Southwest was it was a hustle. We played a lot. We had the typical South by Southwest experience, 15-minute changeovers, shows flat out being canceled without us being told about it. But it was great. Our last show was a Sunday at the Continental Club, and that was, I think that's still one of the best shows that we've played. You know, it was cool to play for a room full of strangers, and I feel like it felt pretty evident that we won them over, and that's always a great feeling.
Certainly, I'm sure. And so let's talk about also the Americana International Songwriting Competition, and y'all won an award. That's congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, we got second place in the Americana category. Out of, was it 15,000 submissions, something like that. Again, Eric, you know, he's just on the ball with all this stuff, and I hate competitions, and I usually don't like subjecting myself to that.
Right.
But it was cool to come out, you know, like placing amongst some really other great artists, and so that's cool. We got the little badge we can put on our website, and I think it's just proof that the song is resonating with people more, you know, more than anything. You know, we don't care about the award more than just that people like it.
Yeah.
So coming up down the road, any goals and strategies you have for the band, like specific venues you'd like to play, or strategizing on releases outside of what we've talked about, just kind of looking down the road for people to look forward to?
Yeah, I think the strategy nowadays is to kind of keep content constantly flowing. So I think once we release Bad Luck, we're gonna jump in the studio and knock some more songs out. We're gonna have that live recording we do at Antone's, and I think yeah, I'm hoping pretty soon that a couple of our peers take notice, you know, who are in bigger bands, and you know, eventually let us open for them, because that's a pretty quick way to gain some fans. So, but yeah, again, like Daniel's saying, Eric is the get stuff done guy. So he's always strategizing, and he always has great ideas. And yeah, we're lucky.
He keeps us moving.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps us going.
Well, you'll have you have a great sound and a great thing going. So, like, for people tuning in, I just want to, like, the behind the scenes and getting to know y'all. What are your inspirations, and as far as other musicians or people that growing up, maybe it was a relative or maybe it was a music teacher?
I think that's what's so cool about this band is we are all over the place as far as that goes. It's like me and Marco just had to fill out a questionnaire for something else, and our answers are so different. But the fact, I mean, I've never played music with anybody else that we've just gelled so well with and fit so well together. So it's cool. You know, I didn't listen to great music growing up. That's a long story, which we won't get into, but until later in life. But Marco, you take this. You're
Yeah. Well, when I was young, my dad wanted me to play drums, and I did not want to play drums. I wanted to play the guitar. So I think the reason that I wanted to play guitar is because my cousin, I'm an only child. So my cousins were like my brothers, you know. So the oldest cousin on the Macias side of the family, Little Ray, so we always called him. He played guitar, and that made me want to do it. And then as I got a little older, I really got into just punk music. You know, one of my favorite bands of all time is still Rancid. So that kind of got me going with the idea of a live show and the energy of it. And then, you know, later on in high school, I started really getting into Americana music. You know, Connor Oberst of Bright Eyes is one of, if not the best songwriter in my opinion these days. And yeah, I think Daniel and I kind of bonded on listening to a lot of Ryan Adams, listening to Augustana. You know, there were we come from a lot of different places, but there are a lot of overlaps as well.
Right.
Great answers. And I know we've talked about Eric a lot, got you too. Let's talk a little bit about Trinidad and Colin and what they do in the band. I know Colin's your mandolin player, So let's talk. Give them some kudos.
Yeah, we'll give them some love,
Also,
of course.
yes.
Well, Colin, just along the lines of getting things done, like Eric, Colin keeps us organized, keeps us together. His dad is Jimmy Dale Gilmore, which is pretty freaking awesome. We actually played the Luck reunion with Jimmy Dale as his band, and got to play our song Exile.
Wow.
He keeps us kind of in check, very responsible, great songwriter, and we're writing new songs with him right now. Can't wait to get those finished and recorded. And Trinidad, I'll let Marco talk about Trinidad some more, but he's just, man, he's not only the heartbeat of the band as far as being the drummer, but he's the heart of the band. I don't usually let people hug me, but I will let him hug me and kiss me on the face, and he will. And he just so full of love, just the best guy in the world.
Yeah.
Well, I'll remember that because I'm a hugger if I ever see you.
Yeah. Be prepared. You'll get a great Trinidad hug.
Okay. And go ahead, Marco. Were you going to say something?
Well, yeah, no, Trinidad and I'm in another band called the Dirty River Boys, and he became our drummer. God, now like 6 years ago. Just we kind of instantly became buddies. Like Trinidad has the biggest heart, and we got really close. So right before COVID, I went through like a pretty big life change, and I didn't really have a place to land. And Trinidad, him and his wife opened up their spare room to us, and then the world came to a halt during COVID. So what was going to be, time to find my feet ended up being almost 2 years of him letting me stay there. And I mean, just during that time, like I said, I'm an only child, and he's definitely a brother to me.
Yeah.
I love it. What an amazing story. That's why I like to dig in and get to know everybody. So when people go to one of your shows or they're listening to your music, they kind of get this now. So West Texas Exiles, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to the future. And I got one last question for both of you. If you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Oh, if I was a cocktail, I'd be a penicillin with LaCroix Scotch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay, got it.
I don't particularly like this cocktail, but just as far as like, if it were to pertain to like me and my personality, I think I'm like a Zima and a Jolly Rancher,
Oh my gosh, not the throwback Zimas.
Yeah, I heard they're coming back. I
did too.
But...
I don't think they should either, but I drank plenty of those. But actually I did hear or see something where they're supposed or they're coming back or something like that. Anyway,
I'm gonna go find me a Zima.
Yeah, let's make a challenge so you can find a Zima. I'm down in the middle of nowhere on the coast, so I doubt we have Zimas. We're lucky to have what we have. We do have a great liquor store called Salty Dog Liquor Store, and yeah, she takes care of us there. Nice. Okay, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for getting on the podcast and visiting and sharing, so everybody can get to know you. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you having us.
Thank you so much.